Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. I definitely wanted to make this video before I go to bed. It's just weighing heavy on my mind. We're going through watching all these YouTube videos. I am too. There's a lot that I know. There's a lot that I've experienced, like over 30 years of crap from narcissistic relationships. But one thing that kind of sticks out to me is I feel like mine were different. And maybe some of you guys can relate. Like, you hear all this information and you're like, maybe mine wasn't a narcissist. We pick some things. Be careful on when they say they never do this. They always cheat. The absolute words that people will use. It's kind of a habit that we've developed. Like, you never call me. I could say that to you as my best friend. You never call me. It just means it's been 3 weeks, and it doesn't mean that you never call. So be careful on that stuff. But mine, I didn't hear that nobody's ever going to want you. I hear it's not you, it's me. You could have any guy you want. And then I'm thinking, if I could have any guy I want, well, why can't I have you? So there are some discrepancies. So in order to figure out, is your person a narcissist? The most important thing to focus on isn't the diagnosis. It's how they treat you. Like mine used the silent treatment, or during the custody battle, it was horrendous. I'm pretty much a good person. I'm on the up and up. Don't do drugs, don't drink, not promiscuous. I don't even really date. So I'm pretty much a good girl. Like professional, workaholic. I do swear, but other than that, that's about it. Don't steal, don't, whatever. But mine got horrendous, and I had 59 police reports against me just because he was a cop, knew how the system worked. They took control the silent way. They abused me the silent way. We were going through a custody battle. He didn't really want the kid. He promised he'd never take her from me. All of a sudden, I called him after he warned me not to. I wanted to fight for our family. That was me. That was important to me, which is dumb. We get in these narcissistic relationships and we're fighting for them. We're fighting for them. And we think things can be fixed. And if you hurt them in any way, like he called off the wedding, thought we could postpone it and didn't give me a reason. So I moved out. He went and we live together. We have a daughter together. The invitations have been sent, 3 weeks away. And I didn't know what the problem was. So I got scared. And they used the silent treatment, both of them in different ways. The first one was, like through police reports. So it affected my business. I had cops busting through the doors when they shouldn't. I had conflicting counties across state to where I had rules that could not be met. You have to do this, but you can't do this. So it was a no-win situation, catch 22. I'm going to get screwed either way. The other one, a lot of silent treatment over the years. Things are good, all of a sudden you're ghosted. You ask for reassurance, of course I'll do right by you. They ghost you, you have no clue. You get into your panic mode. Now you don't know if they're alive or dead, so you get into more of a panic mode and things fall apart. So now they got a new supply. So when you hear all these things on the cut downs that they use, like I had my first one kind of for whatever reason, like I said, we had a daughter together. Like, he knew my weight. Like, I don't even know my weight. If one day I'm 124, the next day I'm 125, he knew it. It was weird, or let's say I'm bloated, I'm 134. It's like, I was 126 yesterday and I gained weight for, periods or whatever. And it's like, how, like, he was to the point, and I didn't even ask. So he felt it necessary to say that for some reason. I guess my weight was important. But they keep track of that. And he also would finagle. I think he wanted me heavier. So I'd ask for black coffee, so he'd get me hot chocolate. He'd do little things like that to make me gain weight or whatever. And then, there was a picture of me after I had our daughter, and he's like, that's when you look the best, but your thighs are thick. So I was lucky with the washboard stomach. Even after I had her, I was lucky. But you know, that's where I gained my weight. And so that was kind of the abusive stuff. But he wasn't, none of them have ever really said, you know, I'm ugly or a fat ass or I guess my first one said, first, it's kind of interesting. First, we broke up and we kind of, I don't even know if we were getting back together at that time of his visitation with our daughter, but I lost 8 pounds. And he was like, thinking the way he's acting, I'm the hottest woman in the world. Like, wow, why couldn't you do this when we were together? So I gained 2 pounds and he calls me, we must have been back together because I was sleeping in the bed. He's like, I was looking at you laying there naked and you look like an emaciated, diseased animal. So that's pretty harsh. That's pretty harsh. But I didn't go through a lot of the verbal abuse. Not really. I went through the silent treatments the most. And be careful when you're trying to figure out, you know, is this person a narcissist? Because we hear, you know, they always do this, that, da, 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 da. Now, both of them didn't take accountability. Both of them lied. And this is the thing, though, like it gets confusing because everybody lies for the most part. How's your day going? Good. It's not going good. You know, and that's the other thing, too. It's not big lies that are necessarily the red flag you need to look for. Some of the red flags can be, oh, honey, we have company over. Did you forget to put the toilet seat down? No, you know, it's just little things like they can't take accountability on anything. And sometimes they do. See, even when I talk, I have that habit. So when you're watching these things, don't take it as an absolute. So you can say, oh, you know, my narcissist or person doesn't use word salad. They need 5 out of 9 traits. So they need like half of them. They need half of them pretty much. So you start focusing on the things that they don't have. It's very high in the United States and also around the world, but especially the United States, the amount of narcissism that we have. So let's say they have 4 traits that they don't meet the criteria. They don't meet the criteria. How do they treat you? Do they treat you with respect? Do they treat you with respect? Do they listen to what you have to say? Do they make you feel uncomfortable to where you're walking on eggshells? Those are the signs. We don't need a clinical diagnosis. We see enough of the signs. They lie, some of them cheat, they talk in circles, they use silent treatment. And sometimes the silent treatment can be like, and a dirty look. Jesus. Yeah. And sometimes I might use a truth at that time. But it's like, does that feel comfortable when somebody's like, oh, Jesus? Like that starts making you feel uncomfortable. So yeah, they addressed your concern. Baby, are we still good? Yeah, we're still fine. What's your problem? And it's like, oh, this does not feel like we're fine. They don't step back and go, why is she asking that? What's wrong with us? What do we need to work on? What's the root of this problem? So the roots of the problem never get taken care of. And that's where this virus starts growing, this toxicity within the relationship. And we're sitting here saying, you know, it can be fixed. It can be fixed. So the narcissist might rig it. You know what happens when you just jerry rig it? It's just going to be stable for a little bit. It's going to fall apart. And think about that. The things that you put together that, you know, use Scotch tape instead of duct tape. How long did it last? There's no stability in a relationship with a narcissist. It's a ups and down, topsy-turvy. And, you know, the new supply is going to go through that too. Narcissists have a certain amount of tension. You know, I've shared with you guys that I'm a teacher. And, you know, different age levels have different attention. They just do. You know, as they get older, they progress. You know, timeout for a 1-year-old should be 1 minute. Timeout for a 7-year-old should be 7 minutes. Things like that. But the narcissist, their emotional state is childlike. And just think about in high school. Most of the time, um, we went on 2 dates and then he was a jerk, or, Kevin was cuter. And so I want to go out with Kevin. And, he broke out. He has acne. I can't be with a guy with acne. Or his parents won't let him go to the drive-in theater, and that's what I want to do, and whatever. There are still some drive-ins, not many, but it's short-lived. So the narcissist is in this grown-up world where it's supposed to be long-lived, with pressures of marriage and family and doing the right thing and keeping supply on hand. That's why they get married if they do, to secure supply, to look good to other people. Like, yeah, they got a woman or they got a man, and they're trying to fit in. They're trying to fit in a world they don't fit in. I keep talking about the different statistics. If you watch my videos, you know how I explain it, but without being diagnosed officially, because they don't go to the clinicians, there's about 20-25% of the US population that is narcissistic, and 75% then aren't. That's a big portion of people that you don't fit in with, that you don't connect with. And to, I guess, overcompensate for not feeling like they can fit in, they're proven to the world that they fit in. They are the funniest, they are the richest, they are the best of the best, unless they want to flip it to where, I could have achieved this, and you're so lucky to be where you are, and if I would have just had a better education, I could afford what you have. And so then they're like, here, you're the one getting my old furniture. You're getting one, we're going to get rid of our lawnmower because we're getting a riding lawnmower. So these people are getting everything. And it's a game, when people like things, they keep doing it. I thought about, I'm 6'1", and why don't I do basketball? I don't like it. I did cheerleading. I was taller than the guys on the team. My college cheered, but that's what I liked. So even though I had at college, they were chasing me down the hallways, we'll give you a scholarship. We'll give you a scholarship. And I'm like, I can't stand it. I get so frustrated. I run down there and then they throw it over here and I got to run back there. And I'm sick of basketball just because I'm tall. And I told them, I'm just tall. Like, I mean, I can shoot some hoops, but not to where I want to embarrass myself for a scholarship. I'll pay. I want to do what I want to do, and so, that's inherent in human nature, that's basketball. That's not something I pursued. Why didn't I pursue it? I didn't like it, and the narcissist, they like the attention, so they'll pursue what works. Why did I pursue cheerleading? Because I was good at it, because I enjoyed it. The narcissist pursues what they're good at. They're good at getting their supply. Like right now, if I could bake you an apple pie every day ever, and you're going to pay my rent, heck yeah, I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to lie to you and pretend I'm your girlfriend or wife. But the narcissist, it's like making a deal with the devil, and they know, if I dress nice, I can get the girls or guys, or if I do this or if I do that. And it's all about rebalancing their ego. They're over grandiose or over vulnerable. So us middle people help them with whatever supply it is, money, adoration, but it's manipulative. And that's where it gets toxic. It's okay to help people. I've given homeless people food or sometimes money, usually foods that you don't know what they use it for, or refer them places. I have a friend who has a boat, and it's nice. It's nice going out on his boat. I don't have one. We're just friends. You know, he's tall too, and we met up to see if it was going to go anywhere, and it's not. But we still hang out. Never kissed him, you know, so I didn't mislead him, and we still enjoy his boat. That's not why I'm friends with him. We have a really good connection. And the narcissist might just want a free boat ride. They might want, who knows, whatever. So I just wanted to point out that the diagnosis doesn't matter. It's how they treat you that matters. That sometimes we're going to get confused. We got that cognitive dissonance going on, where just like I could say, well, he didn't really call me fat or too skinny. He just said I looked better in that other picture. So was that, that was a compliment. You look, that was my favorite picture of you. And it's like, no, like you're not remembering, you know, the diseased animal comment. You're not remembering, like, why does it matter within a pound or two to daily tell me what my weight is? And we often go for the more comforting, and we forget the abuse. And that's how we get sucked down that rabbit hole of the trauma bond. We love our abuser. And just like the narcissist, when they were growing up, that was their comfort zone. They've transformed us to where we're picking up narcissistic traits to survive in that situation. Don't let them suck you in. It's going to change you. It's changing things inside your brain the longer you stay with them. Like mild exposure, just like mild exposure to the sun. You can go out in the sun, you'll be okay. You can go get your mail. You can go get your mail. You can walk around the block. But if you're exposed 24/7 to sunlight, you can get skin cancer, wrinkles, blotches, leather-like skin sometimes. And that's like the overdose of the toxicity of the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. It's okay to be around some toxic stuff. It is okay. But it's the overdose. And you get the overdose from long-term relationships, especially romantic ones, or when you're stuck in a family situation. Like the narcissist was stuck as a child. We're adults. We don't have to tolerate that shit. It might be a struggle, but get your money together, get your friends together. If you tell them what's up, that's not being narcissistic. If you say, hey, you know, I'm in this toxic relationship, can you help me for 2-3 months? That's not using somebody. That's utilizing. Because your friends are there for you. It's okay to rely on your friends. You can't rely on a narcissist. Will they call you? They say they will, they don't. Will they show up? They say they do, they don't. Are they on time? You know, okay, they showed up. After they went, smoked a joint, hung out with a friend, drank a couple beers, or just took an extra nap when it was something important to you, you know. And you know, a lot of them are into substance abuses, whether it's alcohol, drugs. They don't do it in moderation either, usually. Sometimes they do, sometimes they do. But they're also rule breakers. And you know, I saw this one post, just kind of funny. I don't smoke pot, but a lot of people do. It's legal now in where I live, but I don't do it. But like there was this one thing on Facebook where the person was driving and the cops were following them. So they threw the weed out the window, and then they get stopped, and I don't even know if they got a ticket or were let go. And then they're like, oh crap, it's legal. I'm like, what am I doing? I just threw my pot out the window, and they go back and get it. So it's kind of like the narcissist, they'll discard, and they're like, oh, maybe I should keep that. Maybe I should go back and get it. Why not? You know, it's open and free to me. I already purchased it. So they'll hoover back just like those people went back and got it. It's available. It's still on the side of the road. I'm going to go get it. What were they hiding? I'm not saying these people are narcissists, but the narcissists will hide things. They'll throw it out the window. So if you were a mistress or a mister, I don't know what they call them, you're going to get discarded, just like those people like, oh crap, I'm going to get caught. They throw it out the window without a second thought or whatever. It was an investment. I don't even know how much pot cost, but I don't know. We'll say $100. I don't know how much it was. Whatever. That was an investment. Screw it. I don't give a shit. That's like what they'll do with relationships. It's like, fuck it, I want to get caught. And sometimes too with that monkey branching, you know, we think, no, you know, they're not married. They might not be, but they probably have a different person. And who's better, you or the other supply? Relationships go in cycles. Today you might be better. Next week the other person might be better. You might be more moody this week. You might want to complain about work this week, or next, you know, the other supply needs help with the kids, and so the narcissist is like, screw that, I'm going to be busy and I need some attention, so they're going to go back to you. And it's so hard to understand what's going on because everything is lies and everything is hidden. And I just wanted to point that out, though, that it can get confusing sometimes listening to these things from YouTube, to where you hear different self-aware ones, you know, and sometimes we can relate, like, yeah, my narcissist did that. And then other times, you know, they're like, yeah, I do have like some don't give a crap. Some are like, yeah, I kind of feel guilty about that. They do have awareness. They do have some awareness, even if they're not self-aware. They know they're breaking the rules, but they don't consciously give a shit. You know, it's just like people who I don't know. It's kind of like I took this one class in college where they had these people who got their hearing back. They were deaf, and they go into this world of hearing, and they hated it. They couldn't stand it. You would think that would be the dream. They would actually reverse the cochlear implant because they couldn't stand the noise. They couldn't stand it. They wanted it to stop. So that's a narcissist, just like that deaf person. Like, this is going to be great. This is everything I ever wanted. Once a narcissist gets everything they want to go back to that deaf state, to that deadness inside. That's their comfort level. So when we're offering unconditional love, we're offering them to hear. And they think it's going to be great. It's the worst thing in the world to them. They don't like being loved. They don't like it. We think they do. And that's the confusing part. Because in the beginning, it's the love bombing stage is whether it's the thrill of the chase or, there's male female dynamics, regardless of your gender, there's an identity that people go with. So maybe it's the thrill of the chase from the masculine person and I need to feel pretty or wanted, not an old maid, things like that. So we're in this euphoria state. The love hasn't really started. We just love that euphoria. And, there's a lot of people out there that confuse sex for love. Like, he's at my house every night and we sit and watch movies, and yeah, he just wants to get laid tonight, and you think he's cuddling with you. It can be reverse situations, watch my video on the differences between male and female narcissists, because there are some differences. Just because it's easier, if you're just an average guy and you flash your boobs, it's like, are women, and there's with I'm going to talk in the traditional sense. So, an average man shows me their chest. It's like, okay. but I have a small chest. They're cute. But you know, I would have a lot more traction if I flashed somebody. So women usually use their bodies more. Men tend to use money. They make more money anyways, usually. They do what works. So the man's not gonna do, you know, the sexuality. They might do sex, but they're not going to do the sexuality because, you know, if they're average, it's possibly not going to work. But then you got your super sexy ones that they will rely on that. They will have that overconfidence. Confidence is sexy, plus they're already sexy. And they're so liked throughout their life because they are good looking. You know, that's what society is all about. Unfortunately, who gets the acting jobs usually, unless they're cast in like some whatever, but the newscasters, who are people drawn to? They did these studies on kids. They look like schleppy little kids and they're passed up. They look like the poor kids who, you know, are the forgotten ones, and people pass them by. But the pretty little princess dressed in her Easter dress, lost, that's who gets the attention. And so they'll use whatever tools they have. And since they're so shattered inside, that's what they, you know, they talk about on that airplane, take care of yourself first so you can take care of others. They're so empty. They're like taking in everything and they suck everything, that there's nothing left to share. And that's their fault. You know, things grow. You got to plant the seeds and you got to water them and take care of them. You know, they're the kind of, as an analogy for their life, planting the seeds of their life, their future. So they'll plant the seeds and be like, whatever, I did that. Duh. I put the seeds in the dirt and I spit on it, gave it some water. It'll rain eventually. It should be self-sufficient. That's how they feel with relationships. They don't keep watering it. They don't pull the weeds. And by pulling the weeds, as an analogy, that's taking out the problems, because little problems can be dealt with. But then when the weeds build up, it's almost like you can't tell what's good from the bad. It's too overwhelming. Like, screw it. We're not gardening. And they'll do that with the relationship. It's so overgrown with toxicity that you don't know what's good or bad, you know? Great, he's coming home on time. He's coming home on time now. We can have dinner together. But there's animosity, there's resentment, and it's like, does it really matter that he's home now or she? It's changed from quality time to quantity time, if you get that. So just focus on what makes you healthy, what makes you happy. Are you happier more or are you sad more? And I really want you to think about that and have that your deciding factor. Sometimes we factor in the kids, finances. Narcissistic abuse usually gets worse, and it'll definitely take a bigger toll on you. Trust me on that. And if you guys can share your stories to validate others, to let them know what your story was. So keep healing, and topic requests are always welcome. See you soon.